Hello, everyone. Today I have a very special guest, the founder of asvin, which is one of our portfolio companies. I am Asa Dorfard, the sales and marketing manager of coinIX, and we have Mirko here. Mirko, hi.
Hi.
I'm really glad that you accepted our offer to do this interview. So would you please introduce yourself and tell us how did you end up in the blockchain industry? So tell us your story. What is your story, Mirko?
Yes, my name is Mirko Ross. I'm one of the co-founder of asvin. We are located in Stuttgart. Our main area of expertise at asvin is risk management and cybersecurity. And yeah, well, my connection to the blockchain industry, of course, has started very early. Like many people, when you had been sometimes on conferences, people were sharing Bitcoins on the really early days. I was fascinated by the decentralized idea and the trust idea. And that's as well one aspect where we're using blockchain at asvin.
And when was it that you joined the blockchain industry? What year was it?
Oh, it was super early. I remember the Bitcoin was, this wasn't the time when people were paying their pizza with Bitcoins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice. I hope you have bought some Bitcoins back then.
Like many people, yes, as well with lost seats.
Oh, yeah. We hear it a lot. So you are definitely one of the pioneers because you joined the industry very early. Now, what you are doing is really amazing, but maybe it's a little hard for normal people who are not in the blockchain industry to understand. Imagine your grandmother has asked you, what do you do, Mirko? Like, explain your job, your project to your grandmother. How would you say that?
Oh, I think it's simple. Like I would tell my grandmother, look, if you go to a grocery store and you're buying your yogurt, um, and maybe your chicken breast, you would like to know where it's coming from because you want to have a look on the entire supply chain, like what was the cow who was serving the milk for the yogurt? Obviously, for yogurts, there are many cows. However, who was the farmer, for example? Is it really organic and so on? And we're doing the same for software. So if you have a modern device, an IoT device, a connected device, a machine, we are tracking and tracing where the software is coming from, which is on this device. And it's as well this as same complicated then for the yogurt, because it's not only one cow spending the milk, there are many cows. There are many developers contributing to software stacks. And as well, it's very important to know where it's coming. Like, is it trustworthy? Is it organic? Do we have trustworthy software components in our devices? And from a cybersecurity perspective, this is super important. That's it, Grandma.
Indeed. Yeah, I think it's really make it easier to understand when you make real life examples. And this is one of the best use cases of blockchain that we have, this tracking, transparent tracking of supply chains back to the basics. You can just go back to see where exactly everything began until it finds its way into your hands in your home. Cool. And I just want to know, when was the first moment that the idea of asvin just clicked in your mind? Like, did any special event happen, or were you somewhere, or did something happen that you thought, aha, this is what I want to do. This is the project that I want to start.
I think it was 2016 or 17. I was on a conference, which was a cybersecurity conference of the European Commission. And we were heavily discussing about the impact of certain botnets. Like, what is a botnet? Next question. Botnet is a way where attackers take over the control of IoT devices. And there was a case called Mirai botnet, where the attackers were taking over the control of 100,000 of devices, which had been IP cameras, very cheap IP cameras people were using. There had been factory set standard passwords on it or no passwords. And the attackers were just searching the web, crawling the web for these IP cameras, testing the passwords, admin 1, 2, 3, 4, admin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and then taking over the control on these devices. And this was a shake in the industry, and even like for politics, because they were assuming that this botnet is maybe a super cyber weapon. At the end, it was not a super cyber weapon. It was just two guys in the US who had the idea to build a botnet and use it for DDoS as a rent. However, politics was aware and all the intelligence was aware. And this was leading into the situation that the regulators took a close look on the cybersecurity of IoT devices. And this was as well an event where the idea of asvin was born, because we were thinking about, oh, if the regulators will have a look on it, then they will have a look on the industry, because they think about something is going wrong and we need to regulate the industry. So the industry in IoT and in Industry 4.0 will be forced to implement cybersecurity, which is not a quick process, as you know. It's regulation in the European Union takes a long time to come to true. But however, that's why you're a founder. I mean, you see an opportunity, and maybe the opportunity is in 3 or 4 years, and you start working on this.
Indeed, yeah. So the idea came to your mind first in a cybersecurity conference. I think it's one of the main reasons that we all just try to take part in different blockchain conferences that can be the birthplace of many new interesting projects, because you encounter with so many interesting people with amazing ideas, and then maybe a bubble comes up on your head, and then you find the next project that you're going to start. Amazing. So you just gave us some information about what exactly asvin does, but would you please elaborate a little more about the problems that you are solving? For example, what problems exist in the traditional supply chain industry that is going to change when we use blockchain through asvin?
Yeah, let's take an example, for example, of a modern car. I mean, and this is as well a real world example. When we were flying to the moon, you remember the Apollo missions, it took 145,000 lines of code, software code, to bring a man safe from the Earth to the moon and back. Now, if you sit in a modern car and you're driving with your modern car, it takes 100 million lines of code to bring you from your home towards your office and back. And this is today, and we predict, or there are predictions in the industry, that in the next years, this amount of software lines will grow up to 300 million lines of code. Okay, you see, software is getting more complicated in digital products. Now, why I've chosen this example for the car? Because cars are a perfect example of the need that you need to track and trace the software supply chain. Because originally a car, I mean, you're buying your car by your OEM, your big brand of your car manufacturer, but there are many suppliers involved in cars. I mean, the car manufacturer, they have the knowledge to plan a car, but all the knowledge of the technical components of a car is almost provided by suppliers. And technical components today are physical components, but always connected to software components and software. So if you take a car, it's a really complex beast of software codes which you stick together by multiple suppliers in a large supply chain, which is leading into the result that even the OEM, the car manufacturer, really has no detailed knowledge about what kind of software is running in a car. Where shall we be afraid as car consumers and customers? Yes, maybe. Because in cars, we have as well a safety-related product. I mean, we are trusting our cars that we are safe on the road. Now, software and physical components are all part of the safety. And if software is in there, cybersecurity is a huge topic. And with asvin, we enlighten the car manufacturers and the supply industries on what are the software risks in your products? Where is software coming from? Is it approved? Is it trustworthy? Are there any unknown software components in your car? Is this maybe leading to risks, unknown risks? And this is very important because it's all about then safety.
Indeed, yeah. Thank you for your detailed explanation. For sure, asvin is revolutionizing the supply chain industry, and I'm sure that in a few years we're going to see the use cases being used by normal people when the mass adoption happens. Great. I'm going to move forward to the next question. Would you elaborate on some of the recent partnerships, updates, or any advancements that you have recently made in asvin?
Well, for example, we have won this year a large contract by the German government, which is as well remarkable, where we have been contracted to show what are risks in critical or how to model risks in critical infrastructure. Now, why it's important? As you know, our whole society and is built up on critical infrastructure. What is critical infrastructure? For example, it's our energy networks, it's our communication networks, it's medical infrastructure, it's the water infrastructure, and of course, it's as well our defense infrastructure. So there is a high interest of the government to know what are the risks inside this baseline services and infrastructure networks, and how to best deal with that. And that's part of our technology and our company, what we are providing them.
Amazing, perfect. And for sure, asvin is not the only company out there who is working on blockchain-based supply chain solutions. Can you name some of your competitors, and can you say why do you think your project stands out among them?
Yes, what we are particularly looking for is we are not so much interested in the blockchain, let's say, as a tokenized protocol. That's not so much interested for us. We are interested in the decentralized resilience of the networks and of the protocols. So more on the distributed ledger side of blockchain technologies. And as well, we are interested in the way how you can model relationships. We call it graph-based models. And for people who are deep in the blockchain, they know that graph-based, in distributed ledger, that's as well a core aspect of how relationships and trust is built. So we are really deeply at the core. So forget about all this Bitcoin token stuff. We are really talking about the advantages of deep tech. Now, do we have competition? Yes, we have. Where it is, it's mainly no wonder for cybersecurity in the US and Israel. And if we look to our competition and the people and the companies we are competing, we have some similar, let's say, ideas out there how to solve it. Mainly as well born at Stanford or Cambridge, MIT. Yeah, but it's rather interesting. Our team is very international. So we have as well MIT people in our advisory board. So we can compete with our approach from Europe very well.
Of course, right. So is there anything else that you would like to share about asvin that I didn't include in my questions?
Oh, yes, what I can share is we have an amazing year 2023. There's really huge approach of customers. As well, we see that the markets are really responding very positive on what we are doing, as well from a customer side. And we see ourselves now turning into a scale up. So we have just gone through the startup phase, and now we are turning to the scale up phase, which means we have a mature company, we have a mature solution, and I think this is a great outlook for the year 2024.
Amazing. Asvin is one of my favorite projects, and I'm sure that in the upcoming years, you're going to make a lot of more advancements, and I'm so excited to hear them. And even though there are a lot of use cases for the blockchain industry in different industries, there are still so many people who have not invested in the blockchain industry, or they are a little skeptic when it comes to blockchain-based solutions. What is your message to the people out there who have not invested in blockchain industry at all?
Well, I think they have reasons for it, maybe. And sometimes you have to understand that the blockchain industry, the early blockchain industry, has been as well an early adopter industry. So people are testing a lot. They are trying to find out all the possibilities and abilities. And sometimes as well, you're failing. That's the risk with new industries. However, as we know, it has a huge potential. So don't be shy. Have a look on it. I mean, there are many opportunities out there. And as well, the maturity of the technical foundations, it's still growing. So, and at least I think, like, there's this hype cycle diagrams where you know where certain technologies are. And blockchain is definitively, in my opinion, over the hype cycle, which is a good message because it means that all the people who are creating buzz around it, and which are maybe as well a little bit, how do you say it, spooky, that the spooky people are not so much important anymore, because we are talking about technology adoption now and building real products up on blockchain or distributed ledger technologies. And this means real business and less speculation.
Exactly. Yeah, I think even if people don't want to invest in the blockchain industry, it would be great if they just educate themselves, get informed, try to read more, to watch educational videos, to be familiar with the new trends, because whether they want it or not, it's going to happen. So better be a part of it. Or even if you don't want to be a part of it, better be informed about it so that you know what exactly is happening in the world. So Mirko, I'm done with my questions. It was a great interview. Thank you for accepting my offer to do the interview, and I hope you have a great day.
Yes, thank you very much.